Good, happy Wednesday afternoon, May 6, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this afternoon, so let's begin. First up, let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire information, what you need to know. And here is a look at that COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There are 2,636 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 1,206,323 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 92 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 295 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 71,152 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows you where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 347 cases of COVID-19, current cases. And this shows you total cases of COVID-19. Manchester, total cases of COVID-19 is 568. This chart here shows you new cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases in the orange, total hospitalizations in the red, deaths, and in the blue, recovered. This chart here shows you current cases, total current COVID-19 cases in the purple, and current hospitalizations in the orange. And new cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases in the orange, new hospitalization, and in the red, deaths. This chart here shows you by age group. This chart here shows you sex / females and male. This chart here shows you risk information. This chart here shows you race / ethnicity of cases. This chart here shows you percent of New Hampshire population. And your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. Be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Granite Staters urge to take down bird feeders as hungry bears begin roaming. Fish and game officials had asked people to take down bird feeders by April 1st. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
These are truly challenging times, but New Hampshire companies are here and open for business.
During these times of uncertainty,
a hungry bear captured on a camera reaching for a bird feeder snack in Belmont. It's not an uncommon image right now in New Hampshire. Kate Louie captured this video on her trail cam Friday night after she noticed her home security system kept going off.
Went through the footage and there he was trying to get up on my deck to get the bird feeder. Thankfully, he didn't destroy the bird feeder. But yeah, it was an eye-opener for sure.
And she's certainly not the only one. You local users are posting their bear pictures and videos from backyards in Alton to trees along the Kank to this bear seen outside of a dining room window.
Yeah, they're out. Our bears are out, and we've put out a lot of public information, as we've done every spring, to warn people about taking your feeders in because they are hungry. They're coming out of a long winter's nap. They are hungry. They're looking for some of those fast-filling meals.
New Hampshire Fish and Game Colonel Kevin Jordan says they don't pose too much of a danger to humans, but keeping them out of neighborhoods by putting away bird feeders is the safest bet, especially as many people head out for walks and to get fresh air in the midst of the pandemic.
It's never a good mixed to have bears with adults. I realize people film them and take pictures of them, but it's just they're a wild animal, and they deserve the same respect as any wild animal, and they're better off in the woods than they are in our backyards.
Kate says the bird feeder was promptly taken down, and she hopes her video makes others aware.
I think you need these lessons and, situations like this to really open your eyes, and it's for the bears' benefit.
Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. So take down those bird feeders, everyone. 104th Fighter Wing to conduct flyovers in Massachusetts Wednesday, honoring coronavirus first responders. Scheduled to fly over Boston around 12:15 p.m. this afternoon. The F-15 jets from the 104th Fighter Wings are scheduled to conduct flyovers Wednesday, honoring first responders and healthcare workers across Massachusetts. The 104th is based at Burns Air National Guard, based in Westfield. Their route will take them over major hospitals and field hospitals across the state. When you look up on Wednesday today, in Hyannis at 12 p.m. to 12:15 p.m., Brockton from 12 p.m. to 12:15 p.m., Boston from 12:15 to 12:25 p.m., Farmington from 12:15 to 12:25 p.m., Worcester from 12:25 p.m. to 12:30 p.m., Springfield from 12:35 p.m. to 12:40 p.m., Hollicky from 12:35 p.m. to 12:43 p.m., Northampton from 12:40 p.m. to 12:45 p.m., and Westfield from 12:45 to 12:45 p.m. Other military units, including the Navy Blue Angels and Air Force Thunderbirds, have conducted flyovers honoring first responders in other cities. Maine lawmakers to hear from Labor Commissioner on unemployment system struggles. Maine lawmakers are holding an emergency meeting to delve into delays into the process of unemployment claims. Labor Commissioner plans to brief the Maine Legislation, Labor, and Housing Committee on Wednesday. More than $200 million have been distributed to more than 70,000 Mainers since the global pandemic, but thousands more are awaiting benefits. Since March 15th, more than 100,000 claims have been filed, compared to 35,000 from all of last year. Happening right now in Vermont, Governor Scott addressing Vermont's recreational and restriction during briefing. He is doing a briefing happening right now. If you want to see that, just go to my NBC 5 to see that briefing. 60 inmates, 50 employees contract coronavirus at Danbury Federal Prison in Connecticut. Let's take a listen to that video from WTNH News 8.
Serious delays at a time when keeping essential goods and services moving. And when it comes to your own vehicle, our mobile team can come to you. Plymouth Glass and Mirror. Stay safe. We hope to see you soon.
Federal prison in Danbury, more than 60 inmates.
And 50 employees have contracted COVID-19. One inmate has died. Senator Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy wrote a letter to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. They want answers about the department's response to the outbreak, and they're calling for all inmates and staff to be tested, not just those who are symptomatic.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Rhode Island COVID-19 cumulative cases surpass 10,000. Rhode Island governor to speak at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon. Stocks are flat, but big tech stocks see continued strength. Stocks were flat on Wednesday after back-to-back gains as investors weighed the prospect of reopening the economy along with dismissal report on U.S. payroll. Americans restart lives as 3 biggest states reopen. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
And in New York City Tonight news on children and the virus. We have reported here on concern over a rare condition first seen overseas. The alarm sounded in the UK. Well, are they now seeing something very similar in New York? Here's Tom Yamas.
Tonight, a new concern. Pediatricians in New York seeing a rare condition similar to one seen in Europe. Some children with COVID-19 showing severe inflammation and experiencing a toxic shock-like syndrome. You may remember 12-year-old Juliet Daly in New Orleans. Inflammation was causing her heart to fail.
They had to do 2 minutes of CPR on her. I never thought I would have to see my child go through anything like that. And it was terrifying.
In New York, at least 15 children showing symptoms of the rare condition.
What's concerning is that we're seeing that the heart muscle itself is inflamed or injured and weak, or their blood vessels are so injured that their blood pressures are really low, and it leads to critical illness where other organs in the body can get severely injured.
David, doctors who have treated children with these rare symptoms say most kids who contract COVID-19, this won't happen to them, but if it does, it's very serious because it attacks the cardiovascular system. David?
Tom Yamas with us from New York Tonight. Tom, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching this afternoon edition. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.